Welcome in, lovely people. This is DB's Best Bets presented by Full Time Roundup, episode 5. Harrison, we need to take a moment in silence for how we did this week because it wasn't good. It wasn't our best. It was not our best. And we'll dive into it in a second, but just give us a nice 5-second moment of silence. All right, and cut. All right, that back to the drawing board, and that's why we're here with you today. So I guess we'll get it over with. We'll go over the awful picks that were our picks this weekend, and I'm gonna share my screen for this. So bear with me for just 1 second.
When you start color coding this, just all red.
Yeah. It'd be like bloody Sunday here. So we'll go ahead and go with the bet that we had first. Actually, we'll leave that to the end. So Harrison, you started out on Saturday morning with Stuttgart 1.5. What happened?
Just an absolute nightmare. Go up 1-0, and I with a lot of time left, I thought maybe we'd get there, and especially for our parlay, since we had that as well. Ends up a tied game, and that's how it finishes 1-1. And that was really just the start of the nightmare that was this past weekend. Considering that we did decide on the last one that we were, well, at least for me, that we were going to double down on Stuttgart.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this out of the way, all right? I owe you an apology. And it didn't help that PSV, who you suggested, won like 7-1. So that hurts, and I take full responsibility for that, and I will be better for now on. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and we lose 2 parlays in a row on the last leg. I hate this. This stinks.
I suggested PSV just because I thought maybe it would be a lot safer, and maybe we just needed to see one go in. But honestly, I did think Stuttgart was a fine money line play. I didn't think they would tie at home at all, to be honest, which is even why, of course, I played the spread.
Pain.
The Brighton game, I mean, just never a chance. I got trapped. I literally said on the podcast that I was going to get trapped, and I got trapped. And they got a red card, which, I mean, it was over quickly. And then
we'll to be fair,
in a second.
To be fair, we both did this. Now, I did spell out what could happen to Brighton. They don't do well with bully ball, and that's exactly, and plus the red card, obviously.
You're right.
Didn't help. But not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to also destroy myself because I also fell into a trap with Atletico Madrid money line against the worst team in the entire league. And they had a 2-1 victory at the time and then just threw it away to a 19-year-old kid who hasn't gotten any playing time anywhere for 3 years. It is just a dagger into the heart for me. And I'm still not over our performance this week and how, but with time comes learning, which makes you wise. I think we're going to come into this next week a lot wiser than we were last week at this time.
0 coin came home this week. Let's just take a quick gander what we did. Nothing came back. It all went out the door or it pushed. So
speaking of pushes, these pushes felt like victories because they didn't even look close for majority of the game.
God threw me a bone on the Bayern Leipzig game, 0-0 at halftime, and then 3 in the second just to even get us a push there. I mean, of course Bayern got it. Of course Bayern got it done in the end.
What did I text you? I texted you at halftime. I texted you and I said,
"You said moment of silence."
Moment of silence. Suicide.
Suicide. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was ugly. It was ugly, but, everyone I feel like has weekends like this. At least for me, I don't know if I've had, like, 3 weekends in a row where it's been, all negative in soccer because I feel like I'm usually typically good at soccer, but, maybe this show just puts so much pressure on me.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's completely my fault. But we're gonna go ahead and
No, no.
show some of these pushes. And I also had this, so we're gonna go ahead and watch this. Let me know if you can see this, Harrison. Grabbing this from the old YouTube.
Oh, what a twist that would have been. Traore. We haven't seen him been able to have clear water in which to surge yet, but he's got it here. Traore. Iwobi!
It was always Alex Iwobi.
Alex Iwobi, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. I mean, it was 1-0. Harry Maguire gets a goal in the 88th minute. I mean, the posts were killing us in this game. Manchester United were missing chances. Muniz was missing chances. But out of all, thank you, Alex Iwobi, for coming up big. To at least give us the push to make it not even a worse week.
Wasn't expecting Ten Hag to go with, was it Forsen? Was that his name on the
Yes.
wing? The academy guy?
Did not expect that either. Did not expect that either. So that was also very unfortunate. So no Anthony, no Ahmed Diallo. We're just starting an academy kid. Interesting. Didn't really do much either. So
No
that
Hoyland.
really killed. No Hoyland. Don't like it. And we're gonna go ahead and play what I also had here. I had Leipzig and they let me down. You had the over. I lose. You push, and we're gonna go ahead and watch this Harry Kane goal take place.
He's different, dude.
That hurt my soul. And especially because I sent a little funny tweet before the Leipzig game on Twitter, talking shit to
I saw
Justin
this,
Amell. And then he hit us. He didn't say a word until after the game. He said, "I can't wait for you guys to talk about it on your betting show." So Harrison, go ahead and chime in here. And feel free to vent as much as you want because you deserve it. Congratulations here. But yeah, not a good weekend. I also had the Milan Atalanta over 2.5, 2 goals at halftime, and just could not put the ball in the back of the net in the second half. Made me want to cry, but it's okay. And so just going to go ahead and get out of the record. I went 0, 3, and 1. Harrison, you went 0, 2, and 2. So we're going to go ahead and go over the records here. I am 8, 9, and 1. So I'm no longer at 500. And you are at 7, 12, and 3. So we have a lot to work to do this week. So we're going to go ahead. And with that being said, we're going to share. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over what we have for this midweek action. It's not a crazy amount of games this week, but we were able to find some diamonds in the rough for sure. So we'll go ahead and get started with something that we have, both of us have, and that's gone, so well for us. We're going to go back to the well with Brentford Pick'em. West Ham, dog shit. Brentford, maybe good. I like the line at Pick'em. It's very safe.
I mean, at least it gives us a push possibility. But yeah, we talked about this last week. I just think that West Ham's form have been so poor, and you can't really trust them. Like, in no way was I going to take West Ham in this game. And I believe in Ivan Toney to get us over the finish line.
Me too.
I'm okay with the push. Honestly, I'm okay with the push. We gotta stop the coin from going out.
I'm gonna have to agree with you here. Now second on my docket, Luton City over 3 here. Luton's at home, and Luton home overs just seem to fly. I'm gonna back this number at 3. City have been kind of struggling going forward as of late. I like this as a get right game where they see a bountiful of goals. So I'm gonna back this over 3 here. I'm not gonna, hit you with, oh, this is free money, blah blah blah. I like the pick. haven't lost confidence. I'm still trusting myself seeing the board, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I like the play. And you
I do
also
too.
have some FA Cup action. Would you like to share yours? Oh, you have it
Sure.
too. Nice. I didn't even see
I
that.
have Luton City over. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Can't wait.
Yeah, that usually bodes real well. Bournemouth plays Leicester this week. I mean, Leicester. This is a game I think where Leicester proves that it should be back in the Prem. And I mean, Daka's been scoring a lot of goals. Obviously, they have Vardy off the bench. And I think this is just a really good spot for what will be a hungry Leicester team. And you get them at plus half to plus one. So if they draw, then you win half your bet. If they draw, you win the full bet. If they lose by one, you at least get half of it back. And I just think this is a good spot for them. I mean,
Off a
obviously
loss to
Bournemouth can be
Leeds too.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously Bournemouth can be dangerous, but Leicester have scored, I believe, the most or second most goals in the championship this year, so they're always going to pose a threat. Yeah, and I just think this is a really hungry spot for them, especially off a loss. So I think at that number and that spread, I like it a lot.
Yep. No,
But we'll
I
see.
agree with you here. You also have one more FA Cup play here with United Forest over 2.5. Go ahead and back that. I would like
No
to be
Hoyland, obviously. No
Yeah.
Hoyland, obviously, and maybe Ten Hag just runs back the exact same lineup. But we saw what Aston Villa did to Forest this week. They are super susceptible defensively, and at Forest too, I think it'll be a pretty good atmosphere. Obviously, I think Forest will be even more hungry for this one because it is for a trophy, and they are just nowhere near any sort of competition in the Prem. But I don't know. This feels like it could be a really fun game. And I'm going to take the over 2.5 just because I kind of expect there to be at least 3 goals in this game, especially with how Forest are defensively.
Yeah. I didn't know how to read this one. Man United at even odds or at plus odds looked a little bit intriguing, but I just can't back a Ten Hag team right now. I also got this, but I do sort of lean over on the Bournemouth Leicester game. I'm not going to add it to my card, but I lean that over. It's at 3, so we'll see how that goes. But you also have the parlay with Chelsea and Liverpool in the FA Cup, which is kind of
Congrats on
weird.
your win.
Yeah, I appreciate your $20. It's going to go to my dinner tonight, so thank you. And sorry that happened to you. Not really sorry, but
it was a good game. It was a good game for 0-0. Honestly, I thought. I mean, either team could have won today. I mean, the amount of chances that Chelsea had were disgusting. Goals were taken back. Goals were taken back on both sides. Yeah, Conor Gallagher. He's scored goals recently, but his finishing today was not up to par, and that was frustrating.
Left a lot to be desired. I actually sent a chat to one of my buddies, and I said, me and Conor Gallagher have a lot alike when it comes to our finishing. Boy, can I not finish either, and that was tough.
The deflection off the post, the one where they had the through ball in and Kelleher came out and made a good save. He had the one over the bar from just outside the box that was fed back to him from Jackson. There was a bunch of them that I honestly thought interesting offside calls for both teams.
Yeah, but they canceled each other out, so I was okay.
They canceled each other out. I honestly, I thought, first look at the replay, I thought that Chelsea's was onside. And honestly, I think the Liverpool one could have gone either way if you say that Endo completely picked Colwell like that. But at the end of the day, Virgil van Dijk is just a menace and he ruins people's dreams. So would have loved to see it get the PKs. That's all I really wanted at that point. I didn't want a late dagger, but it is what it is.
Thankful to Virgil van Dijk for giving you that dagger. Queen Kelleher made some insane saves. It was a good final. I'm sure that the boys are going to remember this, but after playing 120 minutes, you will be backing both of these teams. Liverpool play in the FA Cup against Southampton, and Chelsea play Leeds,
Leeds.
I believe.
Yeah, this is a half unit play. Let's just make this very clear. And this is also a play. This is a for fun kind of play for me because one of my best friends, Blake Clark, is a Leeds fan, and he will be talking a lot of shit to me. And so I just want to bet on Chelsea because I want to shove it up his. So
yes, I was actually wondering if Clark was still a Leeds fan after the relegation. And then I saw I saw him post on the story after a big win at Leicester, and I was like, oh, he still is a Leeds fan. Nice. So shout out to you, man.
Blowing up. I got a big soccer chat with a bunch of people, and he was absolutely blowing it up for their huge win over Leicester. And I'm like, this is just what bottom feeders do. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll just ride the two teams who played a great game today in a for fun little parlay.
Yeah, I mean, the only question is Liverpool going to have
Liverpool might Liverpool might only be able to dress like 9 guys, but
yeah,
we'll see.
That's the scary part. I would usually back Liverpool in the spot, but not I mean, Diaz kind of came up short. Gravenberch's out now, so we probably have 9 senior players now available, so that's less than ideal for the quadruple, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I wanted to
part of my thinking also is that you mentioned the quadruple. Like, I think that in Klopp's last season, they have a lot of expectations for themselves, and even if it's just the academy players they bring up and play, like everybody's bought in, and so I think that especially because it is at Anfield, I believe, that there will be a lot of passion regardless of who plays, and even if they are still on tired legs from today, I still think that there is a serious expectation and want to win as many trophies as possible this year. So I don't know. I'm going to back them still.
Absolutely. I respect it. You also have, we'll go over my play, then we'll go over props. So got 2 Coupe de France games this week. Interesting
thrilling
decisions.
Matchups.
They are absolutely thrilling. I mean, I actually do think this Lyon Strasbourg over 2.5, or the game itself, is actually a really intriguing game, considering that Strasbourg is a subsidiary of Chelsea's new whole thing they got going on. And on the other side, you have a Lyon who were really struggling early in the season, and now they're back after a huge transfer window where they brought in like 7 dudes, and they've really are hot as of late. Still a little bit leaky, but attacking wise, they've completely turned it around. So I'm loving this over 2.5 here. So we'll see. And then I also have Rennes versus Le Puy, which didn't even know was a team until today. But that line's at over 2.5. And yes, Rennes has played AC Milan and PSG back to back here, but I still think they're going to want to go far in Coupe de France after crashing out of the Europa League. So I think they, even with their bench guys, they do enough to get this number over 2.5. So that's kind of what I have. We'll see if we can bounce back to 500. You also have one more prop play, so let's hear it.
Yeah. Napoli plays Sassuolo this week, and he scored now two games in a row, so maybe he's back to being who he is. Victor Osimhen to score this week. Scored today in their draw. Also scored against Barcelona in the Champions League. I mean, when Napoli's at their best, obviously he is just dominating up front, and I can't wait to see him in Chelsea blue soon. But yeah, I think against Sassuolo, who have been really bad this year, I think that Napoli should win this game, but Osimhen probably will have a big part in it.
Lock it in, baby. I do, before we kind of wrap up here, this will be a shorter episode than usual. I took it under, Harrison.
Yes.
And it was so sharp, under 2.5 or 2 3/4, actually. Chelsea, Liverpool, 0-0 to go into extra time. Never even a doubt. Wish I put it on the card just so I'd be at 500 right now. I wanted to wait till the lineups before taking it, and once I saw Salah, Nunez, and Szoboszlai weren't going, I knew it was free money. So shout out to Queen Kelleher for helping me with that. And yeah, I took my first under in a long time, and maybe I'll try one again soon. We'll see if it really
Let's not
spoke
get
to me this
crazy.
time.
Let's not get
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It might unders are still frowned upon, but it's not as big of a deal as, betting on Bayern Munich or what's my other rule? I'm forgetting.
So
right
we're
now,
still off
but
Bayern.
I think we're still off Bayern. This Leipzig
Okay.
game, it doesn't. We're not going to count it.
Well, they
I think that
announced
was
that
a
Tuchel's
fluke.
done at the end of the season, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. We'll
Interesting.
see. We'll see about Bayern, but we're gonna keep the Saudi Arabia. Obviously, you never bet on those anyways. So we're gonna keep it clean. Keep it clean with that. But we'll add teams in here like Frankfurt. They're kind of on my shit list right now. I'm not betting Frankfurt for a long time. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you did hear the picks. Everton for you, shit list. I respect it. Atletico Madrid.
Not that I should be betting on Everton in the first place anyway.
I literally told you deserve a prison sentence for putting your coin on Everton. But
you're right.
Thank you for spending time with us in another episode of DB's Best Bets presented by Full Time Roundup. We'll be back more than likely on Thursday to recap how we did, as well as give picks for the weekend. Me and Matt just finished up recording our Sunday show, so that will be dropping soon on all platforms. So go give us a like, rate us 5 stars, download the pod. And for these YouTube channels, you can see Sophie in the back. My bad. Go ahead and subscribe and like the pod, so we know if you like it or not. We kind of liked what we've seen here with the user growth for the last couple weeks of opening it up. But continue to hit subscribe. Feel free to share anything that you'd like us to add or like to see, and we're more than willing to try things out here. So, of course, follow the Twitter account at Full Time Roundup. Follow me at Liverpool.
Come trash us.
Come trash us. Follow me at Liverpool CLTFC to congratulate me on my trophy. If you want to harass and call Harrison a loser, as well as Matt, you can do that at @HClark_02. No, _2. Sorry, I always forget. And thank you for tuning into another week.